The trumpets we've already seen. Now the bowls are getting ready to drop. God's wrath is coming. Stay tuned.
Holy Spirit, come and refresh me. Holy Spirit, come.
Welcome to Through the Bible in 5 Minutes. I'm your host as usual, Brad Keeney. And today we're in episode 59, Revelation chapter 16, verses 1 through 2, in our line-by-line chapter and verse Bible study. Remember, we want to get the gospel out. We want to get people feeling comfortable about the times we live in and what's coming in the revelation of Jesus Christ. So please do like and share and subscribe if you want to keep posted on these short, simple, and easy to understand Bible studies on Revelation, which is a difficult topic. But we try to look at it in a way that will help us, so as we see this unfold, we'll be ready for that. Now what we're going to see today is the bowls starting. And the trumpets and the bowls work together. And we've seen before in previous episodes that there is a similarity with them of sorts. And I'll try to post the video. It's in the playlists under Revelation Discussion Topics. Do the similarity of trumpets and bowls hold a key? That's what it's titled. At any rate, it is interesting to look at them. This first one is the hardest one to link. Otherwise, the topics of each one are essentially the same. Now, I'm not saying they're the same activities, but they seem to be related at some level. At any rate, if the topic of this one is suffering and God's wrath being dumped out on those who rejected him and on the folks who are taking the mark of the beast, then actually that would make the first one very easy to see, if that's the topic, although it's not mentioned. In the other ones, we see that the exact topic of what is mentioned in God's Word is the same in the trumpets and bowls, or extremely similar. So, at any rate, I'd advise you to take a look at that one also. That kind of ties in with this. Now, something else I wanted to say before we got started is, for example, in the MacArthur Study Bible, it says that the word for the boils that we're going to see in the Septuagint, which is a Greek translation of the Bible, so we have the same Greek in the Old and New Testament there, that word is the same one they use for the boils that went on the Egyptians in Exodus chapter 9, verses 9 through 11. So if you want to look that up. Another thing to keep in mind of is this literal or symbolic? A lot of these, they may have both meanings to them, or they may be more one or the other. You know, the literal people, for example, who follow these and write commentaries, one of the things they've talked about is like radioactive boils coming from radiation, from a nuclear strike. That's what some people have said. But some of the symbolic people may look at like the embarrassment and humiliation as Christ is revealed that manifests as if you have boils seeping on your skin. You're just demonstrated for who you really are, that you're false, and that this God that you've been worshiping, this Antichrist, is just ridiculous, and it just comes out. So at any rate, keeping in mind that literal and symbolic possibility, you can think about that. And of course, I believe these are written, as we've looked before, not so we can predict the future as much as so as the future happens, we can interpret it and kind of go through it, and then God will reveal these things to us as they happen, kind of like Jesus' first coming. Remember, about the first 30 episodes, we looked at Jesus' first coming and prophecies of that and how they were literally fulfilled, and saw that nobody totally understood the situation. So that having been keeping that in mind, let's go to Revelation chapter 16, verse 1. Then I heard a loud voice from the temple saying to the 7 angels, "Go and pour out the bowls of the wrath of God on the earth." So the first one went out and poured out his bowl upon the earth, and a foul and loathsome sore came upon men who had the mark of the beast, those who worshipped his image. Yeah, it doesn't sound good to me, and there's a lot more of this bad stuff coming. But at any rate, I wanted to point out that this not on the Christians. So if you know the Lord, we'll try to remember to post a gospel presentation too. If not, you can find it in the playlists under the gospel, the simplified. It's really, God is literally dying to be with you. He died on the cross for you. And if you'll just accept his gift of salvation, you don't have to worry about this thing. This is only the people who've rejected the Christ, the ones who want to worship the beast and his image and take his mark. Remember, we've looked at the mark before. There's also a discussion topic on the mark in there. and looking at everywhere it is. And you can see very clearly what it is. And then by looking at that, you can tell what it isn't as well. So at any rate, God bless. And we'll be looking at the second bowl next time we see you in episode 60 on Through the Bible in 5 Minutes. See you then.